And it's like, we don't know. I mean, but there was something about the show that appealed to a real cross-section of America, as opposed to so much television right now is geared strictly to the urban markets. And that's really what they wanted. And they didn't quite, when we were saying the testing, they didn't understand why it tested so well, and why really in mid-America it was a huge hit, because it was, you could watch it, it was intriguing, but also you could watch it with your kids. And that's the thing that, now that the book's out and people are writing to us, there's this thing of, you know, I used to, it was a great thing. There was an article that about Jenna doing the comic book or the graphic novel. And the author of the article, he started with, you know, when I was growing up, I was like a gangbanger, and I don't know, it was a gangbanger. He was like, I'm a tough guy, drank a lot of stuff. My brother was a nerd. My father and mother were, you know, white trash. Or, I don't know, boy, I'm really glorifying myself to people this morning. But basically, the thing was, we had absolutely nothing in common, except at 8 o'clock on Saturday night when we all sat down and watched the same show. And that was like one of the more interesting things to look at, going like, okay, that was the one thing that bound them together as a family, which for us is really bizarre to see those kind of things. And we get letters about that all the time. It's like, you know, my father, my mother, my grandmother, we always watch this. And it's like, there's not a lot of shows on that does that anymore.
Definitely not. Everything is now like niche. Like everybody has their own shows. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, and then anymore when you go out to sell a TV show, you have probably 10 different pitches of the same show depending upon who you're going to pitch it to, network and whatnot. So, yeah, but it's just to follow up what Steve said, we've been blessed with this show because we have gotten so many nice letters, feedback from fans that really say that the show touched their lives, and that to us is really the impetus to come back and do more. There were a lot of reasons, but the fact that we got so many nice, life-affirming letters from people, it spurred us on to really keep on the track and bring it back. So, thank you all for that.
I just wanted to say, well, one, thank you for posting this. I didn't even know what Comikaze was until you guys said you were going to be here. And then...
Neither did we.
Jenna did.
Yeah. Well, and then I wanted to ask, you may be planning to cover this later, but I'm still unclear on how much of this is going to be reboot and how much of it's going to be continuation, and whether or not we're going to, it's been 10 years and I still want to know what happens after Island of the Haunted.
The answer is yes. Some of it is reboot, some of what we've done is we've rebooted it in a way that contemporizes the character. So in the original show, he was captured in 1963 and escaped in 96, I guess. In the books, he was captured in 83 and escaped now. And the reason we did that is we wanted to, it's the same characters, Miss Parker and Jared and Sydney, and basically everyone will be back, but the thought process was we wanted to allow people to remember some of what we had done, and also to invite in a new audience where they'd be reading a book and continuing the story with a contemporary character as opposed to a guy who's 55 running around being chased by this woman who they're all in love. But within this, what we've done is we've given tons more backstory into all of those characters. So some of the questions you've always wanted to know are being answered in the reboot right off the bat. In the second book, we establish a character whose goal in life is to find out what Miss Parker's first name is. We reveal what Sydney's last name is because we never had done that. And so in every book, we're going to start answering those questions, but within a new drama. So in many ways, it'd be like watching, I don't want to say Star Trek: The New Generation, but something like that, or no, a reboot of Star Trek. You know, it's the same characters, but now a lot of the questions everybody wanted, you're going to get in a modern version of the story. So it was funny because when we sent it out to a few super fans before we even released it, they were all very nervous. And then some of the comments back were great, where it's like, "You bastards, I can't believe you did it this way." And then once we realized what you were doing, they couldn't believe it. Because even in the first book, we take literally some homages from the pilot itself. It's not the same story, but
Similarities.
there's similarities where you can sit there, and if you're a big fan, you go like, "Oh wow, I can't believe you did that." And if you've never seen it, you can sit there and go like, "Oh wow, I can't believe this guy's doing this." So it was really kind conscious approach to do that.
And you know, it's
And we
really.
will answer your questions.
Yeah, we will answer, but it was a conscious kind of re-education too, because we know that there are a lot of people out there that may not know the series, remember it, whatnot, and I think you can read this book if you're totally novice, and I get what a Pretender does, and I get what a bitch Miss Parker is, and how, yes, and if you're a fan, but you get all the nuance that you remember.